This is Cutting Down the Nets in honor of my favorite play today. I dusted off a shirt from 9 years ago that doesn't fit anymore at all. And this is your Thursday college basketball show. Cutting Down the Nets. Who are we? I have finally added a big description in this video that explains everything. I get lots of questions about how does it work? How do you do it? What's shot quality? What are you looking at when making your pool? All that information is in the description with plenty of links to outside resources that I value and use every single day. So let's get to the Thursday show. For the year, we're 55.6%. I'm a little early today, so I've not included any of the Wednesday action, although we're 2-1 at time of going live here. Let's get to Thursday. We start with Purdue against Indiana. Purdue, number 2 in shot quality. Indiana, number 25 in shot quality. Again, the description of video is links to some shot quality information about how it works and what that site is. Indiana, turnover prone. Purdue, not forcing a lot of turnovers. In terms of situational or spots that I highlight in this description, Purdue obviously in a tough spot coming off the big road win. So this is a good spot for Indiana. Trayce Jackson-Davis is expected to play. I have this game closer to a pick'em. We're currently getting 3.5, although with Purdue coming off their big win, I'm not in a hurry to bet this game, as I think we can get a better number. That game is in green. Boise State at Utah State. The opposite here for spots. So same type of value showing between my line and the point spread, but Boise State coming off 10 wins in a row, so you are buying high on Boise State if you ride this play. Utah State off 3 losses and expected at least Brock Miller back. From a shot quality perspective, Boise State 48th, Utah State 110, and Utah State is currently favored by 1. So I like Boise State +1, but this game carries some risk. An orange game here, USC and Colorado. I have Colorado as slight favorites. USC obviously has not played well lately. They're coming off 2 losses in their last 3 games. Shot quality has these teams fairly even. And this is the beginning of SC's altitude trip where they play 2 games in the mountains. So not enough for me in this spot. And USC probably being undervalued after their losses. Next up, UC Riverside and UC Santa Barbara showed as some value. Upon digging in further, it looks like Riverside has some unsustainable 3-point defense going on this year. And this is a desperate home spot for Santa Barbara after starting 0-3 in the Big West. Hey, Red, you don't see that very often. This is my reminder to not ride St. Thomas. They have been very profitable for me this year, but they like to get it done against bad defensive teams that have some flaws, and there's plenty of them in their conference. However, South Dakota State are bucket getters, and St. Thomas, while they can score, man, their defense is an absolute sieve. 332 in shot quality, and most analytics sites have their defense really poor, but they've got a fun offensive scheme, and they can typically put up points. So while this shows as having some value against the point spread, I am absolutely not playing St. Thomas in the spot. Now, I'm not betting against them. I'm just completely sitting that game out. Our t-shirt fat guy cover board is SLU. The Billiken, St. Louis, coming in 73 in shot quality at UMass 119. Major defensive concerns for UMass, but the problem here is they are capable of shooting the lights out. I think they're 41% from 3 on the year. Situationally, you have UMass coming off 4 straight L's. I'm basically trusting the data here, and I'm trusting the St. Louis perimeter defense. SIU Edwardsville and Tennessee Tech showing as a slight play here. This game's fairly even. It's a pass for me. Marshall and FIU. I have FIU as short favorites. The current line has Marshall favored by 2.5. Shot quality has Marshall as 112 and FIU as 202. And Marshall's likely do some three-point regression on both sides of the ball. They have not made any shots this year, and they certainly have gotten lit up from outside. Marshall's coming off 7 straight losses, although FIU has 3 straight. FIU is far stronger defensively, and they themselves actually shoot more threes than Marshall, which is hard to do. They are 14th in three-point rate. So this is one of those high-variance games where there's going to be a lot of three-pointers. And I've got it in my pool, but it's tight. What I don't like, the shot quality disparity, and that comes with the regression, meaning, man, Marshall should not be missing these type of shots as often as they do. But they are going to give up a lot of threes, and FIU can shoot it. So it's certainly under consideration. Appalachian State, Georgia State. Shot quality has Georgia State 114, Appalachian State 213. There's a rebound edge for App State here, but Georgia State 354th in three-point defense from a percentage, not a rate. So I think they could be due some regression in their favor and probably hungry after an 0-2 conference start that came right after their OT loss to Georgia Tech. Beach at UC San Diego. Shot quality has Beach at 216, San Diego at 254. It's a bit thin. We're under the three-point threshold that I like. No clear matchup edges, and UCSD has a 45% three-point rate. That's enough for me to stay away. Georgetown and Providence. Georgetown 134, Providence 59 in shot quality, but Providence coming off a COVID pause. Coming back for Georgetown is Patrick Ewing and Donald Carey. So it looks like Georgetown will be at full strength. And this will be Ewing's first game since he basically questioned whether his team was men and that John Thompson would be rolling over in his grave. There's probably a list of like 5 people I'd never want to piss off in this world. And I think Patrick Ewing is on that list. So expect a hard-fought game. And yeah, that's a lot of points for Providence to lay, even though it shows as a data play. Sac State versus Eastern Washington. Sac State 306, Eastern Washington 233. Sac State is inept offensively, and this game is showing as less than 3 points at the moment. So something to watch, though. Major free throw rate edge to Eastern Washington. So even if this line got to 9, which is why I'm listing it, is if it got closer to the KenPom number, would it be in play? I'm still saying no. Let's get in the dumpster. Let's find some value. And we have Austin Peay at Tennessee Martin. Austin Peay coming in at 292 on shot quality. Tennessee Martin 230. Looking at Austin Peay's profile, they beat Dayton. Oh my God. Like, how did that happen? I don't know. Situationally, this is neutral. Both teams have turnover concerns, so this is a pure data play, but I like the amount of disparity I got here between Paddy's line and the actual. Again, more information on how I do that is in the description of this video. Now it's time for a fun one. You need a fun one every once in a while. If you don't like laying big numbers, then put a half a unit on it, put a quarter unit. I don't care. North Dakota, Oral Roberts. North Dakota 352 in shot quality. Oral Roberts 86. But North Dakota touting the 347th defense against the 37th offense. Dakota's won 2 Division I games this year, or Oral Roberts coming off 5 straight wins. However, last year, I remember this. They were doing back-to-backs at this time. So they would just play a home game on like a Friday night, and then the next night, the same teams would play in the same spot. That way they could get 2 games in. And Oral Roberts laid an egg, but not tonight. Not this time. I have Oral Roberts by 29, and the line is 21. So obviously it's thin to lay this many points, but let's have some fun. So my card looks like this. SLU laying 4 against the dangerous from outside UMass, banking on St. Louis's perimeter defense and banking on UMass not defending anyone. Indiana and the points against Purdue. I think we're going to get more than 3.5, so I will not be betting this right away. And I like the home spot for the Hoosiers here off the emotional overtime win that Purdue went through, where they made Kofi look like I don't even Philip Rebraca from Iowa. I don't know. Tennessee Martin Lane 3.5. However, the KenPom number is 2 here, so I don't know if we need to jump on that against Austin Peay. Something to monitor. The fun bet. Got to have fun doing this. You can't just sweat it out and get angry, and got to enjoy this. Oral Roberts laying 21 is my fun bet of the day. FIU plus 2.5. Boise State plus 1 are in a kind of a second tier there, where I haven't made a full decision on it, but they're certainly under consideration. So, everything I covered, likely touched on stuff listed in the description below. Let's have some fun. Let's win some games. This is Cutting Down the Nets.